All because he said tomorrow's game was impossible to win. The coach made him do a 50-yard death crawl. The captain insisted it was impossible. His limit was 30 yards. But the coach told him, "All I ask is that you give me your very best." Then he blindfolded him with a headband while the other teammates gathered around to watch. The so-called death crawl meant one player crawled on the ground, face down, while another lay on his back across him, arms and legs lifted off the ground. As they moved forward, only the crawler's hands and feet could touch the turf. Every other part of the body had to stay off the ground. It was brutally demanding on both the body and the will. That's why they called it the death crawl. Under the coach's guidance, the captain struggled forward inch by inch while teammates laughed and shouted mock encouragement. Sure enough, it didn't take long before the captain asked if he'd made it 20 yards yet. The coach told him not to worry about the distance, just to keep crawling with everything he had. By then, the captain's arms were numb and burning with fatigue. He wanted to stop and catch his breath, but the coach immediately shut that down. Soon, the same teammates who had been joking around now stood wide-eyed, stunned at what they were seeing, because the captain had already gone 50 yards and was still crawling with his teammate on his back.
It hurt! I know it hurt! You keep going! You keep going! Come on! Don't quit! Don't quit!
At last, with the last ounce of strength drained from his body, the captain collapsed heavily onto the turf. Still gasping, he asked the coach if he'd made it 50 yards. But the answer came not from the coach, but from his teammates, who were choking back tears. He hadn't gone 50 yards. He'd gone the entire length of the field, a full 100 yards, carrying a teammate who weighed 140 pounds. With that kind of determination, what couldn't they accomplish? Just then, that very teammate interrupted the coach.
What is it, Jeremy?
I weigh 160.
Leaving even the coach in shock. When a man breaks free of every mental chain of impossible, he can unleash a staggering power. This unforgettable scene comes from the 2006 movie Facing the Giants. And it all starts with a coach named Taylor. By every measure, he was a failure. He'd been coaching high school football for 6 years without winning a single trophy. This season, it looked like they might finally make the semifinals, but they fell short at the finish line. Worse yet, his star player, the scorer he had trained for 3 years, transferred to a rival school in his senior year. And this wasn't the first time, it was the third. Taylor couldn't help but ask God, "What did I do wrong? Why punish me like this?" To be fair, not all the blame was his. The kids he coached were slackers, sleeping in class, barely scraping by with 50-something test scores, constantly being held back for tutoring. When they did show up to practice, they went through the motions. A simple kicking drill was a disaster. The first ball went wide, the second sailed into the sky, and the third smacked a teammate in the hands. How could a sloppy team like this possibly win? Blow after blow battered Taylor like an endless storm, washing away the last of his resolve. That night, he sat slumped in his office, his thoughts drifting aimlessly in the dark. Again and again, he asked himself, what would it take to pull this team